Brooding, or as it's called clinically, dysphoric rumination, is never helpful. It feels right in the moment, like a good tool to use, but it's actually very harmful. In fact, you can't create depression, the recipe of depression, without dysphoric rumination. Some people call this spiraling, but really what it is it's trying to solve an unsolvable problem. It's using all your energy and your effort and putting it somewhere that is not helpful. And in fact, it makes your locus of control weaker and your self-esteem go down. And it hones in all of your energy and focus on the negative thing. It can feel like problem solving, but there's a really fine line between actually getting to the heart of an issue and brainstorming and just brooding about it. How do you know the difference? Do you feel powerful or do you feel weaker? Do you feel good about yourself or do you feel worse? Are you spending a lot of time and energy, for example, Googling for 3 hours about a health procedure? Are you on Facebook pages? I used to spend loads of time on stepmom Facebook pages, support groups, but I actually felt worse and I was wasting my life. I was worried about things that hadn't even come to pass yet. So you can also see the connection between brooding and anticipatory anxiety. Both have to do with the imagination and worst case scenarios. Why would we suffer in our imagination more than we have to? We can deal with things in the moment. It's okay to create a little stress and anxiety if something is actually dangerous or wrong. But let's not give our power away to the what ifs or the future. In fact, let's talk about what ifs. What ifs itself is a limiting belief. Think about that. It's giving your power away to the future. We talk a lot about giving your power away to the past, but what if is worrying and trying to plan for something that is outside of your direct influence? So it's really a waste of time and energy. Honestly, if you hear yourself saying what if, there are 3 things you can say back to that voice in your head, besides telling yourself it's a limiting belief. And you're trying to control the uncontrollable. Think about our control skills: direct influence, mitigation, and indirect influence. When we brood, we're trying to control something that belongs in the coping skills category. So you can say back to that voice, I can, I will, and I am able. Sometimes brooding sounds like I can't, not just what if. I'll never be able to do that. I can't do that thing. It's just too hard. Are you going to feel powerful? Are you going to feel strong? Are you going to feel good about yourself? No, it's not worth it. I know when we have obsessional types of thinking and high desire for control, that can be such a temptation to go into this type of loop, but you have to know that it's not helping you solve any kind of problem. You're grasping for something that you can't control. You can still remind yourself of what you can still do when we think back to our sense of power and control. How do I empower myself in this situation that I really don't want to happen or I really don't like? Or maybe I'm creating some fear about. Brain is just having a wobble. That's what if thinking is. Your brain is trying to ask you if you can handle something. So when we reassure ourselves and not go to anybody or anything else around us, that calms the brain down. It's like your conscious talking to your unconscious. If we're trying to solve a problem, there's going to be an outcome. There's going to be measurable, tangible proof that we solved the problem. Whereas brooding is just feeling sorry for ourselves, being frustrated, being angry. In fact, I know when I'm brooding because I get this little forehead wrinkle and I'm walking around the house kind of like, that's so stupid. Why does this have to happen again? Why is it always, You'll know if you're brooding, okay? When does brooding often occur? Brooding often occurs typically in the morning or before an event, especially if there's some other unhelpful beliefs going on, like feeling trapped or away from home or something socially. And at night, when we're laying in bed just thinking about the day and what we need to do, and there's some perfectionism, and we're trying to grasp for control. Or we're thinking about maybe what we ate, or what if it could happen tonight. We create it based on a bodily sensation. Like, okay, I have a little bit of gas or an upset stomach, so, oh no, what if tonight's the night? So this is a really good time to talk back to your brain and reassure it. Do your best not to reach out for external validation. Mom, are you sure the chicken is cooked? Was it cooked well? Did you have a good look at it? Mom, tell me I'm gonna be okay tonight. Even prayer can be external if we treat God like a genie to just get us out of hardships. So we want to be praying for strength if you are a believer. And to remember and to recall your tools. Distraction can also be a helpful tool. When our brain starts wanting to go in a certain direction, interrupting that cycle can be really helpful. Our brain actually really likes that. because it's telling brain that this thing is not urgent or dangerous. So especially for children and teens, we can do something like playing a game of chess. Scrolling on the phone, video games, some of these types of behaviors are actually not helpful for brooding because it just proliferates that zoning out mentality sometimes. But I used to put something funny on the TV if I was creating some anxiety with emetophobia. Humor is a great coping skill. You can definitely use your dream technique or reset button to stop brooding as well. But have a look in chapter 9 in the adult manual about anticipatory anxiety. Think about your imagination and remember, brooding is not automatic. You don't need to do it. It's not happening to you. You can be in control. You can stop engaging with these thoughts. There are some thoughts that are better left just letting pass over your shoulder like water off of a duck. You can challenge them. You can distract yourself. You have a number of good resources. But one of the most important ones that's in the dream technique is to imagine what you would like to happen or what you desire rather than what you fear. And know at the end of the day that whatever it is, you can cope with it. You can do hard things. It's most likely not going to happen. 99% of the time, these big scary things and stories that we've made up in our heads don't actually come to fruition. Remember that. I hope this has been helpful for you. I'm Coach Lauren, Emetophobia and Health Anxiety Specialist.